They say that love fades with age, that the spark dims, and that passion becomes just a memory from our younger years, never to be experienced again. But that's not my story. My name is Maria, and I'm 75 years old. I'm here to tell you something that many women my age are too shy or afraid to say out loud. My sex life is still very much alive. In fact, it's more fulfilling now than it ever was in my 40s. Not because of wild fantasies or extreme acts, but because I've finally come to understand my body. I know what I like, what I need, and more importantly, I've learned how to ask for it without shame. If you're still reading, something inside you might be stirring too. Maybe it's curiosity, hope, or even that quiet ache. The question you've held in your heart for years: is it too late for me? I'll be honest, our bodies do change. Things don't work the way they used to. There's dryness, energy dips, and other changes. But here's what I've discovered: intimacy after 50 isn't a fading flame, it's a slower burn, richer, deeper, and more connected. And today, I want to share everything I've learned because I believe every woman deserves to feel seen, touched, and wanted, no matter what age she is. So let's dive in. Some people believe that desire has an expiration date, that once we hit a certain age, say 60, 70, or even 80, it's all supposed to quiet down, like a chapter that's been read and closed forever. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Desire doesn't die. It transforms. It softens. It deepens. It's no longer about urgency but about intimacy. Less about proving something, and more about feeling everything. And the science backs this up. According to the New England Journal of Medicine, over half of men and nearly a third of women over the age of 70 still have active sex lives. Not occasionally, not by accident, but regular, meaningful intimacy. The problem isn't that we lose interest, it's that no one teaches us how to adapt. When we were younger, desire came easily. But now, our hormones change. For men, testosterone slowly fades, often without notice. For women, estrogen drops, and dryness starts to show up. Fatigue becomes more common. Confidence can waver. But none of these changes are the end. They're simply invitations to rediscover pleasure through new ways. A gentle touch where there once was intensity. A slower pace where there was once urgency. The warmth of eye contact that says, "I'm still here with you." I remember when my body started changing. I panicked. I thought it meant I was broken. But then I realized, I wasn't broken, I was becoming something new. And newness has its own kind of magic. The key is not to mourn what's gone but to learn what's possible now. Because if you think intimacy after 70 is over, you're only seeing the surface. Beneath that surface is a world waiting to be explored, one tender, beautiful moment at a time. There's something many women over 60 have felt but never said out loud, a quiet question that lingers just before sleep: am I still desirable? We don't say it aloud. Not at the dinner table. Not at the doctor's office. Sometimes, not even to ourselves. But it's there. You might still love your partner deeply, yet feel unsure if they still see you the same way. You've been together for 30, 40 years. You've shared children, grief, laughter, even silence. But lately, maybe the touch has become routine. Maybe the passion has quieted. And even if you're not in a relationship, you might wonder, would anyone still want me? With the gray hair, the lines around my eyes, the softness that wasn't there before. You might think these feelings are yours alone, but they're not. I've spoken to dozens of women, strong, wise, compassionate women who've whispered the same things. They say, I miss being touched, not out of habit, but out of desire. I miss being looked at like I'm more than just someone who helps or listens. I want to feel wanted, but I don't want to feel ashamed for wanting. And when they speak up, even just once, it all comes pouring out. The truth is, we don't stop craving intimacy. We just stop talking about it because we've been told it's not for us anymore. But that silence, that's what steals the joy, not age. You were not strange for missing desire, you were not weak for craving closeness, and you were not alone. If your body has changed, if the spark has dimmed, if you've caught yourself wondering whether the best part of your intimate life is behind you, just know it isn't. It only takes one moment of honesty, one quiet, "I still want this," to open the door again, and when that door opens, you'll be surprised by what comes rushing in. Here's something no one tells you when you're younger: intimacy gets better with age, not because your body becomes more perfect, but because your heart does. After 60, your touch carries more than heat, it carries history, it carries intention, and it carries something even deeper than desire, devotion. You start realizing that intimacy is no longer about speed, performance, or looking flawless. It's about depth, about connection, about breathing in sync with someone who truly sees you. You know what turns a man on at this age? Confidence, eye contact, a gentle laugh, a single touch that says, "I still want you." And you know what turns a woman on? Feeling safe, feeling seen, feeling like her body is still allowed to feel pleasure without apology. This is a chapter when small gestures become powerful again, when a kiss on the belly means more than a night in a hotel, when holding hands under the blanket feels like the boldest form of affection. You don't need loud declarations or grand displays, you need presence. One woman once told me, "When my husband started asking me where I wanted to be touched, not just assuming, I melted because I realized he still cared to learn me." That's the magic. At this stage, learning each other becomes a form of love, and that curiosity about how your body has changed, what brings you joy now, what helps you feel beautiful again, can turn aging into a doorway, not a wall. And let's be honest, there's freedom now, too. The kids are grown, the distractions are fewer. You don't care what the neighbors think, you don't need to prove anything. You can slow down, you can speak up, you can explore again, not like a teenager chasing approval, but like a woman returning to her own fire. That's the truth they don't tell you. Intimacy isn't behind you, it's waiting quietly within you, hoping you'll come back, and the moment you do, everything shifts. So now I ask you, what's really stopping you? Is it the voice in your head whispering that it's too late, that you're too old, that desire is something meant for younger bodies and younger hearts? Because if that voice has been living rent-free in your mind, I'm here to challenge it right now. Desire doesn't belong to the young, it belongs to the brave. It belongs to the woman who decides she is still worthy of touch, of exploration, of nights filled with soft laughter and slow kisses. It belongs to the man who chooses tenderness over ego, presence over pressure, and still wants to hear his partner sigh with joy. Too often we give our best years to everything else: work, family, expectations, and then by the time the noise dies down, we wonder if there's anything left for us. But the flame never dies. It just waits. So let me ask you, when was the last time you gave yourself permission to want, not out of obligation, not out of habit, but because you craved it, because you missed the feeling of being fully present, fully connected, fully alive in your skin? When was the last time you turned off the lights, lit a candle, and explored your own body, not to fix it, not to judge it, but to listen to it? Because that, my dear, is not shameful, it's sacred. This part of your life doesn't have to be silent. You can still kiss deeply, you can still hold someone's face in your hands and say, "I want to love you here now as we are." And if you're partnered, maybe the greatest gift you can offer each other now is honesty, a new conversation. Try saying this, "I want to feel closer to you again," or even simpler. But slow down and start fresh. If you're on your own right now, don't let that stop you either. This is your season to rediscover yourself, to learn where your joy lives, to touch your body with reverence, not regret, to become your own safe place. You deserve that, not someday. Now, this is not the end of intimacy, it's the turning point. The question is, will you take it? It only takes one shift, not in your partner, not in your body, but in your mind. That shift from "I'm too old" to "I still can," from that part of life is over to that part of me still matters, because once your mind opens the door, your entire body walks through it. I've seen it happen more times than I can count. A woman in her 70s who thought romance had quietly slipped out the back door after menopause, suddenly blooming with confidence again because she allowed herself to feel beautiful, not flawless but radiant in her own skin. A man in his 60s tired of pretending, finally admitting that he wants more intimacy, not just sex, connection, slowness, a new rhythm that doesn't race, but resonates. It's not about being 20 again, it's about feeling something real again, because intimacy at this age is not about performance, it's about presence. You're not chasing fantasies anymore, you're chasing truth, and the truth is, your skin is still worthy of touch, your lips are still worthy of kisses, your heart is still worthy of beating fast when someone whispers your name in the dark, and once that shift happens, something else stirs, too, curiosity. You begin to ask, what else can we try together? What have we never done? Because we were too rushed, too afraid, too unsure. You start exploring again, not to fix what's broken, but to discover what's still possible, and what's possible now might be even better than anything you've known before, because now you know how to listen, how to pause, how to savor, how to love without shame or timeline. You're not in a race, you're not proving anything, you're simply choosing to show up fully in your body, in your breath, in your heart, and that, my friend, is where intimacy becomes ours. So if this shift is beginning to happen in you, let it. If your mind is whispering, maybe I'm not done after all, then follow it. Let that whisper turn into a spark, let that spark light a candle, let that candle illuminate a new kind of love, because everything you're craving isn't behind you, it's still waiting for you to claim it. So here we are, after all the myths, all the doubts, all the quiet questions in the dark. What's left? Something real, something raw, something beautifully alive. A love that doesn't fade with age, it just changes shape. A body that doesn't stop longing, it just asks for new ways to feel. And a heart that doesn't close with time, it opens wider because now it knows what matters. It's not about the wild passion of your 20s fueled by impulse and fire. It's about the slow burn of your 60s and 70s, steady, tender, intentional. It's about choosing each other again, not because you have to, but because you want to, not out of habit, but out of hunger, for connection, for warmth, for being seen. You've lived through decades of distractions, responsibilities, expectations. Now is finally your time to touch without rushing, to kiss without agenda, to hold each other, not to solve anything, but simply to stay close. You've learned that pleasure isn't just physical, it's emotional, it's relational, it's spiritual. It's that soft laugh when you both reach for the same blanket. It's that moment when your partner touches the small of your back and you still feel butterflies. It's waking up in the middle of the night knowing someone is breathing beside you, and that's enough to feel safe, wanted, loved. And if you're alone right now, don't think for a second that you've missed your chance, because intimacy doesn't require youth, it requires courage, the courage to be vulnerable, to ask, what do you like, to say, I miss being touched, to whisper, I still want to feel that again. That courage is what makes love timeless, whether you're sharing your life with someone or dreaming of sharing it again someday. Know this, your capacity to give and receive love did not retire when you turned 60. It's right there in your hands, in your eyes, and the way your voice softens when you speak from the heart. So go ahead, run a bath, light the candles, start the conversation you've been too shy to start. Touch us, explore, and most of all, believe. Believe that your body still belongs to you. Believe that your desire still means something. Believe that your best moments of intimacy may still be ahead, because love isn't a chapter you close, it's a song you can sing at any age, and tonight maybe that song plays just for you.